Hello, everyone. It's Nihan, Aarav Krishna of the Freetown Free Spill podcast, and I'm with Angie Rainbow G, a global impact goddess and vitality regenerator. How you doing, Angie?
I'm doing great. Very happy to be on your podcast, Nihan.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about Tantra. Like, I met a few people
Uh-huh.
through the last 5 years. I've interviewed Ali Light. I think that's how you say it, Alea Light or Ali
Uh-huh.
Light.
Is that how we met? I think that's how you found me.
Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
I've been friends with her for a while on Instagram, and we had a great talk a while back. And Ben Tantra Punk, I interviewed him, and someone told me that should be my calling, like a shaman. She was like, you should get into tantra, and like I'm glad to be talking to you because like it's been a recurring theme, like to connect with tantra folks.
Yeah. It's a way of life. It's definitely a way of life. It's a way of life that really helps you to connect to your humanity and also to understand that there is a living, breathing energy inside of you that is literally the source of life, right? And this can be called the Kundalini energy, right? It can be called the Shakti, the the prana, the life force energy,
Hmm.
right? In in Star Wars, they understood it as the Force, right?
Yeah,
And so that's what Tantra is all about. It's about the study of the Force and to really understand the uh, transformative path that lays in front of us as we begin to delve into the mysteries of this magical energy that we also understand as the energy of creation.
that's amazing. I did massage therapy. I'm sure you know about that. I did 9 months.
Oh, yeah, I remember you did say that.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Like learning about subtle body energy, chi, and because we had a thing in Tai Chi about qigong,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah, like I love it so much. Like the subtle body energy part about the chakras and energy, not just Swedish massage, but like that part, like the esoteric, the Eastern wisdom. That was my favorite part.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Tantra is esoteric by its very nature. And you know what that means is that not everybody is called to study Tantra because Tantra is like a mystery teaching, right? It's actually a very, it's available to a smaller ring rather than to the masses, right? And
Mhm.
so you really have to be interested in the mystery in order to learn about Tantra, right? Like
Mhm.
you are very curious about it, and so you're kind of like delving into it.
Yeah,
And it's something that is not taught in our culture, in our educational system, or in schools, or by our institutions. So it's definitely not something that's available out to the masses. But I believe that now that we're expanding our reach with the knowledge of yoga, Tantra is now following suit, right? Because they are sister practices. So I'm very happy that this is happening because it's going to help us to heal a lot of wounds, specifically around sexuality. Because you know, Tantra does not mean sex. That's the very first thing that I want to mention, right? Usually people hear that word and they immediately think about sex, but uh, Tantra is more than that. Like I said, it's the study of energy. It's the study of the net of creation, right? Um, and when we begin to understand this net of creation, we understand that it actually materializes everything in the physical world, including our bodies, the trees, the plants, the water, all of the galaxies and the universes, right? And so we understand that this is actually the language of the divine, and we begin to understand uh, that Tantra is actually the study of the evolution of consciousness, right? And and with all of that greatness, Tantra also understands that within all of that creation, there's sexual energy. And actually, sexual energy is the source of everything because everything in the multiverse that needed to be created needed that impulse of that sexual energy to come into fruition. So Tantra does not deny or and does not shame sexual energy. Rather, it accepts it, embraces it, and it actually gives us the tools to actually use it in our favor for revitalization, for rejuvenation, for vitality, and to heal shame and to heal guilt and to heal all of those things that actually constrict and repress us as humans. And it also allows us to expand and to evolve our consciousness quicker.
That's deep.
Yeah,
About like I think about creativity and alchemy, like in manifestation, like we're able to turn our dreams into reality, like through tantra and yoga. I think about those things, and when you said the conscious, like the psyche, and like it opens us up to the liberation, and even more than that, like the balance and the healthy, staying young and stuff like that.
absolutely. Correct. Yeah, the Tantra is a path of liberation because, there has been so much condemning, right? Condemning of the body, condemning of our organs, our sexual organs. And there has been so much taboo and so much shame around them that it actually has created a very negative energy around life force energy, which is sexual energy, right? And so with Tantra, we get to flip the script and we get to bring back the balance and the respect and the honor and the grace that our sexual energy deserves as being our source of life and of vitality and of rejuvenation. Because when we are tuning into these energies and we're upcycling the sexual energies constantly, right? Then we begin to rejuvenate at a cellular level. And so I like to teach my guardians and my receivers and students also that sexual energy is an elixir of youth and rejuvenation. And when we learn to upcycle those energies, then we can restore the flow of regeneration, right? So instead of wasting our sexual energy, we begin to learn how to harness and harvest that energy so that we can give it into our organs, because we can imagine that our genital organs actually generate a lot of sexual energy, but they cannot store it, right?
Yeah.
So when we feel that generation of the sexual energy and when we feel that impulse of lust, right? Sometimes we feel it in the
Yeah.
form of lust. It's important to sit with that energy and to breathe, and that's why yoga is so helpful, right? And that's why yoga and tantra are such close practices, because they're actually interconnected. And so we learn to breathe and we learn to squeeze the anus and we learn to apply the mula bandha and we learn to squeeze all that juicy energy in, right? And then we learn to pump that energy into our heart so that it's not leaking out of the valve, right? It's not leaking out of the anus, it's not leaking out of the openings of our pelvic floor organs, right? But we begin to kind of like put a plug in those, so that then the energy can start to rise. And ideally, what we want to do with that energy is we want to bring that energy into the heart, and then the heart acts as a secondary pump. And also the heart is also known as the gate of heaven, because once you pump the energy into the heart, then the energy can rise into the crown. And then once the energy rises into the crown, there is an illumination, right? And that illumination starts to take place from within, and it starts illuminating your whole being, right? From your hair, your brain, your eyes, your cells. You stay in a state of health and wellness and vitality and vigor, and that is what we want. And also, we begin to access higher states of wisdom and knowledge and inspiration and energy, and that's what we all want.
Yeah, I love massages. Like I feel the balance, like just getting a massage and the range of motion and moving all the joints and stuff. I feel the balance just getting a massage, like it's really beneficial.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, if Tantra teaches us about the principles of energy, right? And it teaches us about consciousness, and we teaches us about the gates of energy in the body, then we begin to apply that understanding to massage. And then we get into like Tantra massage, right? And Tantra massage, we bring together understanding from massage, and particularly with Tantra massage, it stems from an Ayurvedic tradition. So Ayurveda actually means the knowledge of life. And so I'm going to break down words, because we're talking about a lot of different words that are coming from India, right? So Tantra means to weave, right? To understand the weaving of the life of creation, right? To understand the weaving of the web of life. And as we begin to understand how this web of life has been woven by the creator, and it includes our body, and it includes the earth, and includes all the elements, then we begin to understand that there's a sister science known as Ayurveda. And Ayurveda means the knowledge of life. It means the knowledge of how all of the elements interact and mingle, right? And so Ayurveda is very beautiful, and it gives us knowledge about the plant and how medicines work, and the earth and how they work in relationship with our body, and how our body has different humors and connected to different elements depending on our constitution, because we each have a very specific and very unique constitution. And also, Ayurveda teaches us about Ayurvedic massage, and it teaches us that our bodies are kind of like a sacred tree of life, and the sacred tree of life is shaped as a geometry. And in this geometry, there are very specific points that are like gateways, and these gateways are gateways into the divine, right? And so when we open these gateways, we actually open up channels that allow more divine energy into our body, and that helps us to heal from disease. It helps us to eradicate tumors and all sorts of things, right? The more we're getting massages, the more we're mobilizing the lymphatic system, the more we're mobilizing all of the oxygen in the body, the more we're cleansing the impurities and the toxicities from the body away from us, and the more clean, fresh energy we're bringing in. And the more that we do that, then the healthier we stay, and the less need that we have for medications and for pharmaceuticals and for the sick care system, right? So actually, this is the true healthcare system. Yoga, Ayurveda, Tantra are all very ancient practices that bring us the understanding of how life works, of how sexuality works, about how energy in the universe works, and how our body works. And when we gain those understandings, we actually have a manual for life, how to live our life in these bodies.
That's perfect. I love it. Like when we was in massage school, like we learned some similar things about like the health and the benefits of a massage. Like relaxation, blood circulation, and it's just so many things that it helps with that you don't need surgery or like to like when you can get a massage, you don't have to get surgery right away. Like
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's also helping us to clear from more than just like physical obstructions. It's actually helping us to heal also from psychosomatic obstructions and impurities that are at a psychological level, right? Because all of our issues are stored in our tissues, and that includes all of the repression, all of the disconnection from our body, and the shame and the guilt. And so, as we start to understand that, oh, it's okay to feel pleasure in my body. Oh, it's okay to like relax and feel like, oh, this is okay. Like if we begin to feel an immense amount of love coursing through our bodies, and there's so much evidence now of when we enter orgasmic states, there's high levels of healing happening in our bodies. There's hormones being activated in our brain that are restoring and healing us and reversing our biological time clock. And so it's very important to be touched. I say that to be touched is just as important as drinking water, as the need for food and the need for air and the need for all of those vital necessities. To receive healing and sacred touch is also a need, and it's very healing.
it's like a bird came by the window as we were talking.
And the hurricane, right? So when we enter a tantra massage, it kind of we really start entering it like a very like when I'm doing tantra massage, I'm like moving back and forth, and I'm moving energies up the chakras, right? Because the energy needs to move and kind of become like a hurricane, and then the chakras, they need to spin, and we need to restore the spin of the electrons and the chakras and the energy generators. And so it's not just like a little like a Swedish rub. No, it's like it's intense. And
Hmm.
in that intensity, there is kind of like a dynamo effect. And in that dynamo effect, that's where the healing happens. That's where the realignment of things begin to happen, and that is also where we really begin to heal our all of our cellular, mutations, because our body is being mutated every day. And as it's being mutated every day from carcinogenics in the air, from GMOs in the food, from just unclean water, unclean soil, unclean everything, right? Stress in the mind, stress left and right, and top and bottom. Then we begin to accumulate all of this toxicity, and the only way we're going to move that toxicity out, of course, there's several practices: nutrition, right? Mobilizing the body, exercise, bringing fresh oxygen daily, and receiving massage, and particularly tantra massage, because of its energetics and its intense energetic actions, right? So basically, that is what we want to do, because when we're receiving this type of movement of energy, the energy is being moved up the higher centers. And so sexual energy, sometimes it wants to sink down, and it wants to um, leave, right? And the reason why that is because, particularly for men, it's kind of programmed in the genes to reproduce. And so that the body feels like, oh, it needs to expel this energy so that it could reproduce. But when we're practicing tantra, we're using the reproductive energy to restore and to heal, not to have children. I mean, you can have children, and that's the way that you would, release your seed. But if you're practicing tantra, you're not releasing your seed, because the purpose of the seed is to restore and to revitalize. So then you're practicing and you're engaging with tantric practices that actually cycle your energy up the chakras and restore the organs. women naturally have a more internal energy going on. So women are naturally a bit more tantric because of the energies already being directed in and up, because the yoni is inverted and it's going in and up. Now, what happens with women and some of the codes there to heal is that the sexual energy has been very repressed and ashamed, and so sometimes women in our modern world either their energy sexual energy is shut off, so completely turned off, and kind of just in a very deep state of wound and of shame and guilt,
Yeah.
or the energy is leaking and it's not being directed in a way that is rejuvenative, but it's being kind of just exploited. Yeah. So with tantra sexuality, we learn how to restore the flow and a relationship to sacred sacred sexuality. And with massage and body work, we learn to acknowledge that the genitals are actually gateways towards higher states of consciousness, because there's a very concentrated matrix of nerve endings and marma points, which are openings into very deep energy channels. So we acknowledge that there's nothing negative or dirty about our genitals. We acknowledge that everything is energy. And so our skillful and respectful appreciation and care for massaging those specific points in the genitals can actually open up channels that help us to open up to our inner divinity. And as a result, that unlocks a massive amount of rejuvenative energy to restore our health.
And you got the retreat coming up in March. Y'all have any future
Yeah.
date?
Yes, it's March 12th through the 18th. And our viewers can visit tantraritual.com and they can learn more about this beautiful retreat. They could also book a discovery call session with me or one of my team members. Of course, because I am presenting today, I'm happy to offer the discovery call session and talk more. We're offering a intro to Tantra journey discovery call just to learn more about you, where you're at in your journey, what are some challenges you may be confronting, what are some pain points, and what are your goals towards growth and towards evolution, and how can we actually support you with that, so we get to learn if this is a good fit for your needs.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love
Yeah.
to work with you some more too. I love to connect and have a bond and meet in person as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love if you can come to this tantra retreat. I mean, I think it's going to give you a lot of tools to work with and to practice. And we're going to have a very beautiful group together. And we're also very open to working on payment plans, doing whatever the community, whatever we can do as a community to make this work for anybody that wants to join us.
Yeah, I'm going to the Philippines next year. I already got a flight.
Oh yeah,
But I would love to work in the future and get involved in this, be a part of the
absolutely.
family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There will be many more.
You had any other things? I know you said
Yeah.
about 25 minutes before we was wrapping up.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have our tantric soiree coming up now, December 21st, here in Miami, Florida. It's going to be a beautiful holiday event where you can get to learn about the introduction. So more tantra at an introductory level, but also with a lot of juice and a lot of heart. It is a beautiful experience on the winter solstice that this date holds a lot of significance, as the sun is going through a standstill but is also being reborn. So it is a time for us to gather with the tribe, to learn and to play and to experience Tantra massage at an introductory level, but also have a community connection and breathwork activations. And we have an amazing guest. His name is Shaftuddin. He's a renowned Tantra guru, and we're going to have him as our guest teacher. So we have tickets also for that, and I'll make sure to send you the link so that our viewers can join us for that. And even if they can't make it to this round, you could still hop on the event list, which is going to be the link that I'm going to be providing. And basically, it's tantricministry.org. Sign up, and you could be on the list for many other events.
You have a tantra school too, like where y'all teach the trainings, like y'all teach
Yes.
everything.
Yeah, we have the Thai Tantra Yoga Massage Academy. And well, particularly, I teach a style of Thai Tantra Yoga, which is a fusion blend of Thai massage with Tantra massage, and also bringing in the energetics and the physical practices of the stretching and the assisted yoga asana practice, but also with this more energetic energy work practice that I'm talking about with the Tantra massage. So it's very beautiful.
I'm
And
interested in that one.
absolutely, absolutely. We're going to,
I'll have to chat with you about that.
okay,
Yeah.
let's do that. I love being on your podcast, and I look forward to many more collaborations and being in touch.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a great chat. I wish I would have said more.
Yeah, don't worry.
I
Don't
know it was
worry.
a time thing, and I love to revisit and chat some more. Earlier I was doing some things. I was on the road, but like I love to explore more and learn more because I don't know too much about tantra. That's why
Yeah.
I love to dive into tantra and learn everything I can and rejoin and with more knowledge and wisdom about tantra, then I'll be able to like just maneuver in the topics and stuff. I'll be like, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're checking it, and grateful for our connection.
You have a webinar?
So that is our webinar page. We're going to be updating the link. Actually, not the link. That's our permanent webinar page.
Okay.
We're going to be updating the dates. We just had a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to keep doing them about every month. So definitely by the time that we update the date, it will be maybe by the time this gets published, we'll have the new date set up.
I enjoy as you was exploring and talking about tantra and the ways the ways it helps in working out the body and getting into that the higher consciousness and the balance of the body and stuff like that, and the ways of the marmor points and all that. Like it's some amazing stuff.
It's fascinating.
I could tell. I love to eventually have my first tantra massage.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. You're going to love it. It's amazing.
Yeah. So is that all?
I think for now, that's all. I actually have an appointment now at, in a little while, I'm having a Tantra study group coming to my house. So I
Okay.
have to get ready for that.
Enjoy, enjoy. Thank you so much, Angie.
Okay, dear. Let's stay in communication. Okay.
All right.
All
Take care.
right.
All right.
Bye. Bye bye.